Okay then. Everything seems to be alive. Except for me. Oh, I love how Twitch has completely lost track of whether there's meant to be an ad running or not right now. It's just two dashes. It has no idea. Oh no, no. Something's happening. Now it's figured it out. Okay. Oh, Twitch, never. Please change. Please change. I do just need to double check to make sure that I'm actually on the right thing. Yes. And I don't currently have the reference thing on because that would probably get me banned from Twitch. Because figure drawing references they don't match up with Twitch guidelines. So they're not going to be shown during this stream. You'll just see my bad attempts at, trying to do them as figure drawings instead. Should work. Unless it's broken again. I don't hear it. I really don't know why I even bother with trying to keep Triggerfire working. Does it work? I didn't hear it. Okay, it does work. It does work. It's just quite quiet because I have my headphones down a bit. So yeah, I'm glad that works without. I just had to, trust that it's going to work. I did have another one that I wanted to actually add on. Which is just a silly voice clip from something I like watching. Media source, create new. Nope, not Fortnite Battle Pass, Ezzy. Not everything is Fortnite Battle Pass. OBS is probably not going to be like me doing this whilst I'm streaming. So let's see. It's thinking. It's still thinking. All I want to do is select a file. Oh no, now I need to remember. Oh no, where does that actually save? Oh, there it is. There it is. Right, I'm just going to pause the music just to make sure this actually plays properly.
I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial. I was conditioned since birth to be attracted to anthro cartoon animals.
I can't hear it, but that's because I haven't set the audio properties up. Make sure that has monitor and output on. I'll try that again just to make sure I can hear it.
I'm a millennial. I was conditioned since birth to be attracted to anthro cartoon animals.
Yep, that is definitely working. I don't know if I want to keep that on there as an actual thing. But it's accurate, Every single film we had and every TV show seemed like it wanted us to be degenerates. And then we can put Diddy Kong back on. It's what I am, Ezzy. Millennial. Also known as old. Really old because last week was a birthday. And I didn't stream, unlike last year, because last year was stressful, and I did not want stress on my birthday again for another year. It was last Sunday, unfortunately. I need a better brush that's not this one. This one is too hard. Thank you, Izzy. That's a bit too soft. That's a bit better. Crank up the opacity. Drop the size. Vroom. Let's crank the brush up a bit for this bit. Yeah, I know last year I did like a full-on, well, attempt to do a full-on, full-day stream. And then the cooking segment went to hell. Because my laptop could not handle OBS even though it worked fine during the tests. So we ended up watching Dog Soldiers, not Dog Soldiers, Toys... Small Soldiers, that was the one. The Small Soldiers film with Sheeper, so he could see what it was like to be watching films in the 90s. Where it was like, hey, remember Toy Story? What if they were robots that wanted to murder people? And that was the premise of Small Soldiers. What if for some reason we put a highly experimental AI chip from the military in our toys? Bad things is what happens. Yeah, that's enough fundamental warm-up stuff. As much as I hate figure drawing, I'm never going to get that, sweet, furry money. If I don't get really good at drawing, really nice people. Also, my voice is all over the place today. It's what I get for actually, doing voice work. It's not a penis, it's a crescent moon. It's actually not a crescent moon, it's a banana. It's actually not a banana, it's... Max from Hit Games, Salmon Max. It is true, drawing penis does get money. Although I think most of the people that I know that would probably end up paying me are non-penis havers. So of course, you need to get good at drawing, the uwu. Because that's exactly what I just drew. I didn't try and draw anything else. Indeed, the uwu. And like one of my big problems is trying to get proportions right, especially when going from reference. So even now I know that I've drawn the head way too small. Right, hang on, let me see if I remember my construction-y things. So if those are the 2 hit points, and that is the middle, that triangle there would lead these to be the legs. See, I do vaguely know some things. I'm not good, but I vaguely know some things. Oh yeah, I can take away this bar at the bottom, because I'm not actually animating at the moment. Actually, that might not be too... I think the heads are... It's not as bad as I thought. Maybe. Oh yeah, I should get on the hydrating stretch that you gave me earlier. I was too busy looking at... Huh. Well, there's the stretch. There's the sweet hiss. The sweet, sweet hiss of a new Beppis bottle opening. Lovely. And my posture is sat down. Nope, no, I don't want it there. I don't want it there. I want it here. Thank you. You should order Beppis, and Beppis should also pay me for, you know, advertising. Oh no, the Ruber. The beer made of roots because, what you know what, you'd probably like we have a weird drink over here. I don't think America has it, but I think it is one of those sort of holdovers from like prohibition when they didn't want people drinking alcohol. It's called Dandelion and Burdock. And oh, it sure has a flavour. Mmm, tastes like ground. It's called Dandelion and Burdock, and it's made from dandelions and burdock. Funnily enough, it's named what it is. Burdock is a plant that you make things from the root of it, burdock root, and you can make stuff out of dandelion and dandelion root, which apparently can work similar to coffee. It's not caffeine, but there's a very similar thing in it that makes you feel like perked up. The problem is, it's not exactly the nicest flavour. Is that if they could like fix the flavour, it'd probably be wonderful. And healthy as well. Apart from the sugar. But we don't talk about that bit. Yeah, it's one of those like really old, weird ones, like weird sodas that they had like in the 1910s and 1920s when they were trying to like get everyone to stop drinking alcohol. Though I don't know why we still have it and America doesn't, because it sounds like the kind of thing that American prohibition would have wanted. So this is. We're going to want that's the hip there, going around the back. That would be a hip there. It call me boring, but I'd much rather have a nice, just drink of Beppis. I should actually try doing these timed like they're meant to be. See, how long have I been going? 26. I want to do at least like an hour of figures. We spent the first 10 minutes faffing around, so let's say we've done 15 minutes so far. So let's try and do enough to like do, and we'll try doing them in the 5 minutes that I'm meant to be doing each one of these. Back to works. Enjoy, Ezzy. Have fun. And I will. Well, I'll try as much as I can with my feeble art skills. Huh? Oh, this is one of those weird poses. It's got angles in it. So that's that bit, but then it goes a little twist here. Hip is about here. And then this leg is going around the back. I do need to keep in mind all of these like little things that I keep seeing on like YouTube videos are like, do it this way to like help understand proportions properly. Because like the calf isn't like that, it's like an oval bit near the top and then it kind of tapers in. Like a piece of bacon. And I very much overstretch this pose because the legs are like here and here. So if this was a real person, they're about to fall on their face because they have lost their balance. Especially with how they're messing with their arms. Yeah, I've put that bit a bit too far in. That lump needs to be much closer to the elbow because it is the elbow. Hey, Ginger. Did New Vegas run out of memory? I was like, one of two things will have happened, because I know you hadn't started streaming till, fairly, recently, and it was either going to be you ran out of memory or the game was being a bitch. And I know which one was most likely. Especially seeing as the problems you've had with that over the past few times you tried to stream it. I'm surprised it is still being such a pain, considering you got the patches in there. Oh no! Oh, I got most of it done before the time limit expired. I forgot I'm timed on these. It's not something weird like having a one of because I know that some graphics cards work better with some games. It's not that your graphics card is just being a bitch with it, is it? Or something silly like that. Because, like you say, Jazzy can run it fine. I've seen other people, especially recently with the TV show coming out and everything going on sale. There's been a lot of people streaming New Vegas and not having any issues. Well, yeah, that is also true. So this pose is pulling on something. So you've got to make sure that it looks like they are. Really? God, it's been that long since I've tried playing any of the Fallouts that. It's even weirder because Skyrim still works fine. I say fine, it's still Skyrim, but. And Skyrim came out not too long after, or around the same time as New Vegas, didn't it? Or am I completely misremembering times and when these things were done? Which is it's very likely. Because like they're the same engine, aren't they? Yeah, so it seems really silly that a year difference with a bigger game doesn't have the same issues. Uh, they didn't want to get outclassed by a better company for making those kind of games then. It just works. Except when it doesn't. Ooh. If that is true, that is like... Although it wouldn't surprise me, because I mean... I don't... Let's just say that I don't go to IGN for unbiased reviews, or any reviews for that matter. Unless I want to laugh. But considering I wouldn't put it past IGN to take money to give a good review, I could also imagine them taking money to give a bad review as well. Yeah, they don't have a good record. And it's weird how we keep giving them a pass because they did Skyrim. Although I think they lost a lot of that goodwill with how they treated Starfield. Because I saw someone talking about Starfield in Cheapest chat, saying they're going to be. I think it might even have been Finn last Friday on Yakuza. It might have been It might have been Woody that said it. Because on the one hand, they've got some like IPs that people like. They've got some good worlds. Yeah, people like the Fallout world. People like the Elder Scrolls with all its lore. It's just, do we want to keep giving them a pass for making bad decisions? I mean, I think one of the biggest tells is when you guys were all playing Fallout 76 together. And I think that was when Sheepa found out who was writing Starfield, and it was the same person that did the story in 76. And at which point he was like, "Oh god, this is going to be bad, isn't it?" And then the story proceeded to not be great. God, and early today I was thinking to myself, I really shouldn't be very negative on streams, and here I am, saying, "Yeah, Bethesda sucks, don't they?" I think that's one thing that is understated a lot in games. They put a lot of, well, I say they put a lot of effort into story. They put a lot of emphasis on story, and then they don't do a good one. At least with Fallout 76, no one was playing that for the story. I mean, at first, simply no one was playing it because it was, really buggy. But once they'd sort of fixed it, people were playing it and having fun. And then they just didn't give a damn about the story because, there really wasn't much. I'm just kind of. I'm not sure whether or not I'm actually looking forward to the next Elder Scrolls or not. Because on the one hand, I did play a lot of Skyrim. Especially once it got some really good mods out for it. But what are they going to do with it? Honestly, after seeing the trailer for Fallout London, it'd be one of the only reasons why I'd actually buy Fallout 4. The other reason would be to masochistically make myself try speed running it. Although I say that, and the other game I bought to learn how to speedrun, I haven't even opened yet, and I've had it for like a month and a half. I had at one point considered Celeste speedrunning, and then I saw the tricks that they use, and then decided, no, my reactions are not good enough for that. When one of the tricks is jumping on the spikes that instantly kill you, and then instantly jumping the fraction of a second you touch those spikes to jump off the spikes, made me realize no, that's for people like with quick reflexes. That's not for me. I mean, there's some things like where the entire level is like huge. You start out here, and it takes them like 30 seconds to get there, and a normal player like me, when I played it, took about 10 minutes to do it. And they got through it in like 30 seconds because they were like, you jump here and then here and then here, and using the double, triple, quadruple dash, and then spike, skip, jump, rainbow dash from here to here, and then bounce off this, and it's like, no, calm down. First of all, what are these things you're talking about? Well, the great thing about the Celeste one is because I've watched like someone explain about the speed running for Celeste, and the devs knew all these tricks existed because in the secret ones that you get, like the sort of extra levels that you get after playing through once and you've unlocked a bunch of other things, the only way you can get through them is by knowing these strats. So the devs knew that these strats were there and built levels around them, knowing that the community was going to accidentally figure these strats out at some point. At which point I'm like, you know what, that is... You know, they knew their audience. Is that the one I always like with Dark Souls is the death cam. Because that one, I can understand. You can understand how it would have actually happened. Someone dies in a certain place, falls into the map, doesn't want to die, so they quickly log out because they want to like get reset to the bonfire because that's just a thing that people do in Souls games. They log back in. They're still alive, but they're under the ground with a weird camera now, and they can move without like any of the geometry getting in the way. Oh look, I can walk past the door into Sen's fortress without having to open it. That's weird. I'll just log out and log back in again and see what happens. Oh, it's put me back on the surface of the world. Behind the locked gate. Oh, we've just accidentally discovered a skip. Because now, we can not have to ring both of the bells, which stops us having to deal with gargoyles. It stops us having to go through Kellogg's. And her spicy breath. And yes, I will continue to call Quelaag Kellogg's because it's funny. Especially when people don't know what I'm talking about, like Finn when he was playing through. And he had no idea what I was talking about. And I said, oh, you're going to find Kellogg's, are you? Yeah, I will admit, every now and then I do go on a summoning salt binge. Just so I can see, what, real players are doing. But, oh yes, we've just spent the past 12 months on this one map in Mario Kart, trying to figure out how to skip this one single lap. Oh, this is a complete mess, this one. Doesn't help that I started the leg from the wrong hip circle that I drew. Like, me and Sheep, we started in our effort to watch all of the random things we remember existed. We started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer yesterday, and oh boy, does that first season, it's definitely recorded on cameras. I don't know what kind of cameras. I think webcams. Good old fashioned TV aspect ratio. Still a banger of an opener. That hasn't changed. And it was the first season, which was where things were weird. They hadn't quite got into the swing of things yet. So they had some interesting storylines, like Xander falls for a giant insect woman. And almost gets bred by the giant insect woman. Which was a thing that was on TV. For teenagers. And then people say, "What? Why are people so weird?" Like when people say, "Why are so many millennials, not millennial?" My mouth almost sealed together trying to say that word. It hurts me. But like, why are so many millennials furries? It's like, have you seen the movies they gave to us? Have you seen the TV shows? It's like they were asking for it. I have completely misjudged this top one. You are way more sideways. And that one goes in. God, even that's wrong. Okay, so you go in. You've got the not coming in there, which is the base of where that is. God, I hate weird poses. Poor woman looks like she's broken her back and she's lying on the floor. Oh, good. It's changed. And it's nice to see that this website has started having some plus size models in it. I knew they were planning to add some, I just didn't realise they'd done it yet. Because I really don't draw as much as I should. So front is here. Hip is here, so we're gonna have and then you are going back. Though not drawing the big bits on the front. Just like with all the other ones, Twitch would probably demonetize me and ban me. What else has been happening recently? Oh, new factory game came out, and I was really excited until I was informed it's Paradox. Paradox are not a good publisher. It's like seeing what they've done with things like Stellaris with all of the DLC. that they've pumped out for that. DLC that wasn't needed in any way and has messed up the base game and still cost a lot of money to get hold of it. It'd be a bit worrying to get a factory game and think, oh, this would be cool, only to find out that they're going to treat it the exact same way they did Stellaris. Which is a shame because the game looked really interesting. It was basically Satisfactory but voxel based. So the terrain was all randomly generated. It was a lot more blocky, so a bit more Minecraft-like. But it was all destructible environment. All voxels. And then like the main mechanic stuff was still basically satisfactory. So it seemed to like offer a bit more in terms of like replayability, you know. Having a randomly generated world and all that sounds like a really cool idea for a game like that. Factorio has it since the start. And it's great going into a new thing of Factorio, not knowing where all the things are. Having to go hunting for the the good bits, the good patches of ores and all that. I was like, yeah, this could be a really good game. Oh, it is multiplayer. Me and Sheepa could play that and have some factory fun like we did with Factorio that once, or a couple of times. And Satisfactory a couple of times too. And then when I sent him the link, he was like, yeah, no, it's Paradox. I was like, ah. Oh, well, that scuppers that idea. I mean, I'm not going to blame the devs because, big publisher means they're going to get people buying the game. I just hope they don't mess things up for the people that do put the money in. I did the legs well on this one. Why can't I... work out? I was about to say, why can't I do that for all of them? And then I remembered, oh yeah, that's called practice. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Got about two more poses in us, I think. The stretch since Ez is not here to command me to do it. Let's see, after doing the figure drawing, I mean, I was only planning on streaming for like maybe an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half today. Because obviously I've not been streaming much. My voice has already gone back down to what it was before. You know, that kind of like trying to like fix my voice and doing all the things about increasing the brightness and all that and getting rid of the buzzy noises and all that in there. It's really hard to keep up for long periods of time. That's kind of where I want to stream more, because otherwise I don't talk at all during the day, which means I can't practice, and if I can't practice, I'm always going to sound like a gorilla, and I don't want to. So yeah, I want to get my vocal range sorted out as well. Which means I need to stream more again. And I need to practice when I'm not on stream as well, so that when I do stream, I don't sound stupid. Which is, it's an ask. That's definitely an ask. But I can't be self-depreciating, otherwise there'll be a knock at my door and a small furry boy, well, fluffy boy, made of wool, will be there to smack me and tell me no. Sheepa will go and find me if I self-depreciate myself. He does not like it when his friends do that, even when it is 90% of my humour. Let's see, so we've got a hip starts about there, I think. Oh, this is a weird pose. It's also completely out of proportion. I've got that completely screwed up straight away. Mainly the head. As always, I get the head wrong. That's better. Well, I say better. To a side of the head, just so I can vaguely understand what's happening. Yeah, definitely a weird pose. I mean, they're not perfect, but I'm getting better at doing them. That's there. Hips are mostly from the side. Hip point would be about here. Yeah, let's try our it's close enough. Angle's a bit off, but that's as long as the proportions are right. I'm not so worried about that. Okay, you are at a weird angle coming back towards us. That arm's dead on. We've got that shoulder just visible. We're up there with hand on the knee. Wrist is about halfway-ish down the shin. Other hand stroking her foot for some reason. And that would make elbow almost line up with the knee joint. No, it's definitely the weird poses where it's all like scrunched up that I have issues with. Yeah, when it's these sorts of poses where it's like, you know, obvious rib cage, obvious hips, bit in the middle, boom, boom, leg, leg, chest, head. Fine with that. But when it's like weirdly side on and the rib cage is at this angle, but the pelvis is at this angle, it starts. My brain can't cope with that yet. I have trouble with that one, which does mean I should really like focus on more of these awkward poses to get better at them, rather than going with the tried and true ones that I know I'm okay at. Although, let's face it, poses like this would still probably make a good, $100 if I drew someone like that. As a commission. But okay, I'm gonna pause those, and then let's see. Do I want to carry on? Because I did have. Let me just quickly check, because I know that my computer turned off in the middle of the night and it decided to not save anything. So I just want to make sure before I click on one of these, because one of these I think is not safe for Twitch and the other image is. So let's make sure, let's hide Clip Studio. There we go. Oh, okay, no, they're both fine. They're both fine. I have closed down the one that Twitch would not like, which was me doing some like proper figure drawing from an actual reference that I had on the canvas that I was like doing a proper study of. But this was me like messing around with silhouette and contrast in my model. So there's some nice areas of dark. I do need to like fix the hair color because I went a bit too dark. And the same with the body tone. Huh? What was this? Oh yeah, that was the basic body model reference. Yeah, I've forgotten what the original. I was saying I've forgotten what the original color is. Whilst I'm on screen in front of me, able to test these things out. So doing it like that is fine, but the problem is the skin now seems washed out compared to the hair. But if I put the hair back to what it was, well, close enough, I'm not sure whether or not that's a good enough contrast around the face. Because I've not really spent much time trying these tricks to like improve a character design. And like I want to go back to having the which like the darker purple eyes. Maybe a bit lighter. So you can actually see the pupil, because that's a bit too dark. And then there's also the the issue with silhouette. Ignore like this one big wing. That's me testing things. It's like there's not much in terms of like detail. There's a little bit of tuft of hair up here. There's the wing, and there's the slight ruffle of the legs. And so I was trying to like, okay, could we tweak the wings, make the wings bigger, but doing that then hides half the hand. So do I change the angle of the wing? But then if I do that, it's going to make it take up more of the screen, which is going to make it harder to see what I'm doing when I'm on screen. So I don't want to go that route of having, say, like, let's make sure I've got the right tool. But like having the wings like right the way out. And then like sort of cutting inwards. So you can still see the hand. And the wing is like separate. I mean, it would make for a better silhouette. That's like got more like detail to it. But is that enough? So let's imagine that I've cut that bit out here. So it's something like that as a wing. It would be a better silhouette. It's more obvious, it's more pronounced. But if we then have that on the other side as well, it's going to like add like a whole body width to the size of the character. So is it worth it? I don't know. And the other thing I was thinking was messing around with the hairstyle. So maybe like making it a bit messier. So it had like a little bit more like texture to it. Although not so much on the top because I was planning on like having the cap bit there. Or there's the option of like going for the long hair, but then long hair would muddy the rest of the silhouette up. And this is where you end up paying people that design these things a lot of money. Because you've got to think about things. You can't just go, well, it would be cool if. Because it would be cool if. But it can also really kind of like make your character look a bit boring. Oh, and another thing I wanted to do with it was add in like extra details. Things like having maybe a tool belt. Let's make sure I'm on a layer that's above what we're working on, just so we can actually see it all. Like having like tool pouches maybe with like bits sticking out. Because A, it would also help with the silhouette. But also it would make it a bit more obvious what the character is meant to be. Yeah, because at the moment she's, apart from the goggles, you can't really tell much about what she's meant to be. So we're like adding like a tool thing on there, maybe adding a fob watch. Into a pocket here, maybe. Making it obvious it's meant to be for like someone that spends time in a factory. Like a steampunky factory engineer type person. So I did spend like a bunch of time yesterday going around finding similar characters and going, what have they got that I don't? And one of the big things is they have a lot more like accessories. Yeah, they have the goggles usually around their head, but obviously with the big ears, doesn't work so well. So that's where they're around their neck. There's usually a hat involved. If anything, I'd probably go for like the classic, like flat cap type thing. You know, top hats, yeah, they're okay, but they're not great. And big ears do not lend well to wide brims. So yeah, I could like say, yeah, we've got a big wide brim hat, but it doesn't really scream, this person works, you know, on conveyor belts. This screams like you're trying too hard. So yeah, that's like the main thing I want to actually sort of work on like the next because like I did try doing the 3D version, and I kind of realised there was a bunch of stuff that I hadn't really thought about yet. And so it's probably a waste of time doing the 3D model if I was going to end up having to redo it. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there for today. Like I said, I've wanted like an hour and a half just to kind of try getting back into the hang of talking for that long on my own without having like other people to like bounce off, like say with the D&D that actually there we go. I don't know if Sheep has actually uploaded yesterday's one yet or not. Granted, I'm really quiet in it. Apparently, my mic was being a weird because Windows did its usual trick of we're just going to reduce your microphone volume for no reason because be fun. And apart from one mention of it at the start, and I thought it had fixed, it hadn't fixed, and no one wanted to tell me otherwise. Right, let's see. We've been going for an hour and a half. That's good enough. Yes, plus program goal. I don't want to put more stuff on the screen which people don't care about. Oh yeah, I'm early, so I don't have the usual person to raid. We can raid someone different. We can raid Zon. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. As always, it's been fun. I've actually, done some practice today, which is I should have been doing for the past 2 weeks while I've been off work, but procrastination's horrible. I've been too busy just turning my brain off. But yeah, next time, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to try aiming for another stream. Failing that, next Sunday, and also obviously, if everyone's available, D&D next Saturday on Sheepa's YouTube channel. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time, and say hello to Zon for me. Bye-bye.